Pearl millet, generally known as Bajra or Bajri in India, is a staple food and fodder crop of arid and semi-arid tropics. It is a grain cereal which provides an excellent source of nutrition in these areas. As a plant, pearl millet is a wonderful genetic and botanical embodiment. It is also now considered as a potential source of green fodder and has found a place in the crop rotation system in richer agricultural areas. India has the distinction of having the highest acreage of 9 to 10 million hectares of pearl millet in the world. The major growing states in India are Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh and Haryana, accounting for nearly 90% of acreage. Pearl millet is mostly grown on infertile and sandy soils with marginal inputs, especially in the areas receiving rainfall between 200 to 600 millimeters. It has an extraordinary capability of tolerating high soil temperature, drought and salinity, which enhances its adoption to varying agroecological situations. Pearl millet is grown mostly as a Kharif crop, that is between June to October, and as a Rabi crop from November to February, or as a summer crop from March to June, which is becoming popular these days. The productivity enhancement began with the development of high-yielding hybrids in the late 60s and 70s. With sustained scientific research and development efforts, the problem of production stabilization has been met with enhanced productivity. Since 1990, genetically improved cultivars maturing in 80 to 85 days when cultivated as a Kharif crop or summer crop have been reported to have given a high grain yield. Over the years, the research institutions have developed high-yielding hybrids and varieties according to the area of cultivation. Some of the promising location-specific hybrids and varieties recommended are for Rajasthan, HHB 67, RHB 121, GHB 538, ICMH 356, and Pusa 23. Open pollinated varieties recommended for Rajasthan are CZP 9802, JBV2, and Raj 171. For Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat, the recommended hybrids and varieties are GHB 577, HHB 94, HB 117, HHB 146, GHB 558, GHB 526 and Pusa 605. For Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh, the recommended hybrids and varieties are JBH2 and RHRBH 8924 or Saburi. For Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, the recommended hybrids and varieties are COHCU 8 and JBH2. The field should be ploughed once or twice, followed by harrowing. Thereafter, 5 tons of farmyard manure per hectare should be applied in the levelled field 8 weeks prior to sowing. Pearl millet in Kharif should be sown during mid-June to the 3rd week of July or immediately after the onset of the monsoon. Wherever irrigation facilities are available, it should be sown in November for the winter crop and in March for the summer crop. The optimum date of sowing is found to be early July for a better establishment of the plants and for reducing the incidence of downy mildew. In order to obtain a higher yield, deep ploughing of the field in summer to kill the weed seeds and the hibernating insects and disease organisms is required. The seed rate should be 4 to 5 kilograms per hectare. The seed should preferably be treated before sowing with a 10% salt solution to remove ergot-affected seeds. For downy mildew control, seed treatment with metalaxyl at the rate of 2 grams active ingredient per kilogram is required. For optimal production, only hybrid or certified seeds should be used for sowing. Use of biofertilizer is also recommended. Treating of seed with azotobacter just before sowing of seeds gives good results. Sowing should be done in lines 45 to 60 centimeters apart, keeping plant-to-plant distance of 12 to 15 centimeters. Thinning should be done 15 to 20 days after sowing. If germination is not proper, gap filling and transplanting should be done, keeping 1,75,000 to 1,90,000 plant population per hectare. Transplanting should preferably be done on a rainy day. For effective weed control, hoeing and weeding should be done 20 to 25 days after sowing. If weed intensity is high, spraying of Altrazine 0.5 kilograms per hectare before germination of the seeds provides fruitful results. Fertilizer should be applied at 40 kg nitrogen and 20 kg phosphatic fertilizer for Zone A1, that is, the severe drought-prone areas. In the areas of limited to adequate moisture, that is Zone A and B, the requirement of fertilizer is 60 kg nitrogen and 30 kg phosphatic fertilizer. In irrigated fields, 125 kg of nitrogen and 62.5 kg of phosphatic fertilizer is considered appropriate. The foliar application of half of the dose of nitrogen and the full quantity of phosphatic fertilizer is given at the time of sowing. The remaining half of the dose of nitrogen is required to be given 4 to 5 weeks after sowing. Pearl millet is primarily a rain-fed crop. Yet, based on availability of water, irrigation at the flowering stage is always beneficial. In the event of failure of rains, 3 to 4 irrigations are advised in the irrigated areas. Although pearl millet is traditionally grown as a mixed crop with pulses and oilseeds to sustain good soil health, there is a shift towards its cultivation as a pure crop consequent upon the availability of new hybrids. The pearl millet crop is mainly affected by 3 diseases. These are downy mildew, smut, and ergot. Under favorable weather conditions, these diseases cause 10 to 60% yield loss. It is therefore important to identify these diseases at the proper time so that suitable management practices may be adopted. The common symptoms of these diseases are: in the case of downy mildew, the infested plants become chlorotic and yellow after 7 to 10 days of sowing. Downy, cottony growth develops on the leaf surface. Plants become stunted under heavy infection and dry up. In later stages, flowers are converted into leafy structure. In the case of smut, infested florets and ovaries are converted into smut sori. These sori are dark green in color and 2 to 3 times larger than normal grains. Later in the season, sori turns black. Sori are filled with a black powdery mass which breaks and results in disease perpetuation. For effective disease management, it is advised for deep ploughing during May to June, cultivation of disease-resistant hybrids and varieties, removal of diseased plants from the field, removing of the grasses from surrounding fields. Pearl millet crop should also be protected from birds by removing the bird-sitting places using bijuka, reflector ribbon, or any other means. The crop matures after 70 to 80 days of sowing. Harvesting can be done by clipping crop panicles or harvesting plants in the first instance and thereafter clipping the panicles. The harvested crop and panicles are normally stacked for sun drying. Threshing of panicles is done manually or by threshers. After threshing, the grain is dried, cleaned and packed in jute or polythene bags. The adoption of the improved package of practices for cultivating pearl millet yields 30 to 35 quintal of grain per hectare, along with 100 quintal of stover in the irrigated areas, and 12 to 15 quintal of grains per hectare, and 60 to 70 quintal of stover in the rain-fed areas. The All India Coordinated Pearl Millet Improvement Project under the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, since its inception, is coordinating the research activities on pearl millet. The coordinated project, or ACMIP as it is called, has promoted interdisciplinary pearl millet research, has developed a fine infrastructure, and has brought together scientists working in the state agricultural universities and in the institutes of the Indian Council of Agricultural Research into a working partnership to popularize pearl millet cultivation in India. As a result of efforts of the All India Coordinated Pearl Millet Improvement Project, large numbers of high-yielding and disease-resistant pearl millet cultivars have been developed with specific combinations of traits and ecological adaptations. Pearl millet is thus likely to become the right choice in any effort or program to empower the people to overcome hunger, poverty, and a degraded environment. Pearl millet, which has been a people-friendly crop in the past, shall remain so for a long time to come.